Welcome to day 5 of the 5-day challenge. I'm so glad that you guys have hung with me for these 5 days. It shows me that you're really serious about doing some self-care and you want to improve your own health and maybe the health of others that you care about. Our last technique is very powerful and it's something that we do intuitively. When we feel stressed out, we often find ourselves holding our head in our hands, right? When we're worrying, we're poring over the bills. When you see a scene, like say there's been a hurricane or some kind of a devastation, often you'll see the people surrounded holding their head in their hands. Maybe they have one hand on their stomach. There's 2 points on our frontal eminence that are related to the stomach meridian. Stomach is about stress, overwhelm, anxiety. So what we find ourselves doing is we're naturally trying to self-correct when we find ourselves holding our head in our hands. Well, you know what? We can do that intentionally. Next time that you feel some stress in your life, there's some kind of an issue that feels challenging that you just cannot seem to come up with an answer for, you can hold your own forehead on the highest bumps. They're in line with the pupils, between the hairline and the pupils. On these highest, most prominent bumps are called the frontal eminence. And I want you to hold your hands on those. Rub your hands together, kind of ramp up the electrical flow to the edges of the fingers. And then you place your hands lightly on those spots. And I want you to hold them super light, about the weight that you would put on your eyeballs. That would be super light. We also call it butterfly touch. So you just hold your hands there as you begin to think about that which is troubling you. You know, when we have an issue, sometimes it's bailing in the back of our brain, in our reptilian brain, which is where our fight-flight response is at. And sometimes we're stuck back there and it just goes around and around, that argument, that conversation, or that worry, like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What's, when you can't make a decision, it just goes around and around and around. And sometimes you're like, stop, I feel so stuck. Well, you know what? Your hands can be sort of like magnets or jumper cables. So you put those on your forehead, close your eyes, get yourself comfortable, and just begin to think about that which is troubling you. Go ahead, ruminate about it. Play it the way that it's been going, in the negative. Go ahead, let those thoughts come. And you know what? Little by little, they will be drawn up to the frontal lobe. And that's where our executive function is housed. Executive function is responsible for coming up with solutions and getting resolve. So that's where we want to be, in our frontal lobe. And then so just take some deep breaths. And as you start to feel yourself calm down and you feel like, yeah, I'm kind of bored, like it doesn't feel as charged as it did, then you know what? Switch your thoughts. Put it into a positive. How would you like to see the outcome be? If you actually had enough money to pay those bills, or if you were released from that job or situation or relationship or whatever it is, what would your life be like? What would you be able to do? How would the weight lift off? What would the opportunities be that would come your way? So you can just switch it from the negative to the positive. All right, I hope you've enjoyed these 5 techniques that I've shared with you this week. I look forward to connecting with many of you in the future in one of my workshops. For now, be healthy, be well, and be balanced. See you soon.